Habibi's very pleased and honored to have Raichik of Libs of TikTok, the Libs of TikTok creator, join us. Thank you so much for joining us, Habibi. Appreciate it.
What we really want to know is like what led up to the Taylor Lorenz, because you guys were like spatting from time to time, and then it was really shocking to see like actually you have an interview with her. So how like what was the lead to that?
I mean, if we're being honest, I think it was bound to happen. Like I had to meet with her, you know, and it probably won't be the last time.
Okay. And overall, the impression from it, I mean,
she's legit a psycho. Like, we make fun of her online, and she says the most insane things, and like we make so much fun of her, but in person, she's totally unhinged.
But so that meets your expectation, though, of what you thought, right?
Oh yeah. No, it's even worse. Like you just let her talk, and she says the most insane things. I was like, I'm going to Miami. She's like, yeah, I love Miami, but like it's not going to be here soon. I was like,
she thinks it's going to be underwater
because there's bad weather. I was like, what?
Why would Ron DeSantis do this?
I can't believe he can. Wait, Ron DeSantis is Jewish? He controls the hurricanes?
Can you confirm, Chaya? We would love to know.
That is insane, but it's also it goes to show like what we think of somebody like Taylor Lorenz, where her biases can lie. If she honestly believes that Miami is going to be underwater soon, what was going through your mind when she was saying that death threats aren't violent threats, like bomb threats?
Yeah, it's like she's like death threats are not a big deal, and I'm just like, what? Like, because she said that because she knows that after she reports on me, I get death threats, and then if they're gonna link me to bomb threats, I can link her to death threats. So she was trying to get out of it like preemptively. But I think like most of the people who are critiquing me would never go do an adversarial interview like that because they're too scared. So I think that it was very brave. But yeah, there were a few moments. Like I know on like the trans stuff, I didn't articulate myself as good as I wanted to, but she's been doing this for so many years. Like it's designed. She asked questions designed to confuse you.
She was talking about the gender affirmation care and how like nose jobs.
Oh yeah.
Same kind of gender affirmation
or breast augmentation
as a 13-year-old being on testosterone blockers and going through puberty blocking and all that.
No, even worse, like a 15-year-old getting their boobs chopped off because she thinks she's trans. She like Taylor saying that's the same thing as getting a nose job. I mean, completely insane. So I definitely got her on that. The porn books obviously was the highlight. I like creamed her on that.
That she's never seen that famous picture from Gender Queer
about the oral sex part.
At least she was acting like that was the first time she's ever seen that.
Maybe she Mandela affected that. So how does it feel to be a convicted murderer of specifically everyone within the LGBTQ community? Every death is all the blood is on your hands. How does that feel?
It's so nice that they let me join live streams from prison.
By the way, you being a stochastic terrorist, I feel that's appropriation, and I'd like to get to the bottom of this. How does it feel that you shot up through the power rankings of being like the #1 terrorist, and Jay and I are sitting down here in like the bottom, bottom
I don't want to
5.
give away all my secrets, but I could give you guys some tips after backstage.
I'm going to be writing them
Do we
down.
got to post more videos? Because Jay and I, we have a ton of videos of each other. Is that considered terrorism enough?
Oh man, honestly, if we just post our message thread, that would be considered terrorism. I mean, I even moved to the place where they trained our heroes.
That's right.
Before 9/11,
Sarasota.
Yes.
Back to your terrorist origins here. You've already shared a lot of your thoughts about this non-binary student, and somehow the narrative did not. Well, the narrative has already been put out there.
Well, the first thing though,
but all the facts are not lining up.
Well, once it came out that she didn't die from the injuries or whatever from being bullying, did anyone redact or change the story or reach out to you?
Yeah.
Or reach out to you or anything like that?
Not a single person. No, we sent out a couple of retraction letters. I'll update if anything happens with those.
They were emailing you when this first happened framing the story like it's your fault and
Right.
everything.
Like you
and they
caused-
never emailed you again afterwards.
And that was
No,
specifically.
well, they're just denying the results. Like they're like, oh, now we need individual investigations. We don't believe the medical examiner. We don't believe the police. We don't believe the school. I'm like, shouldn't you be relieved that non-binary kids aren't being beat up at school to death? Like, no, they want non-binary kids to be beat
It's
to death.
like
Like they're upset that she wasn't.
My mom's watching right now, and honestly, you're one of a big proponent on the reason why she is no longer like a real leftist. You being able to just find these insane fucking people who openly post about being insane in people's classrooms have really opened eyes to a lot of people. And I'm not thinking that it's just my mother who's like that as well. I think there's a lot of people who are like far left.
I mean,
who are seeing some of this stuff.
My parents, they're definitely hardcore libs. Like the one thing that they like do not jive with is basically everything you're covering on, like, you know, the indoctrination,
all the gender stuff. Yeah,
indoctrination of children in schools. Like I think remember when the Don't Say Gay bill, well, it was literally the parents' rights in education law that was passed in Florida. They dubbed it Don't Say Gay. I think that's around the same time, Chaya, that you and I started interacting. My dad, like, basically the last time, you know, when I saw him around that time, he's like, did you know, like, this is not actually a Don't Say Gay bill. It's actually just telling, you know, basically just removing sex education from schools, kindergarten to third grade. Yeah. He's like, who are you against that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's third grade. I mean, when he was talking to you as well, like, just to go back to the Taylor Lorenz thing about public education and talking about, oh, you've never seen like sexual intercourse before in public education and sex ed. And it's like, yeah, sex ed is, you know, like at the end of middle school. It's not in
I got like sixth grade.
It's not, and they don't talk about gay sex. They don't talk about oral sex. They don't talk about any of these.
They literally just talk about how to
sex, how to procreate. That's it.
Yeah, literally reproductive.
Well, like I actually told her that like I actually want to just remove sex ed completely, and it has to be like rebuilt. Like, I mean, after seeing everything for the past 2 years, I don't know how anyone could not agree with that. Like,
I mean, no, it's actually, you brought up a good point there, because you simply said you can't trust the people who are currently in charge to confidently teach our youth about this stuff just because.
I mean, look what they did with it. Just look what they did with it.
Right, and also when she was talking about how sexual, like the sex ed teachers should be the ones who dictate what's in the class and stuff, and it's like these people are not educated enough. They're not trained enough. Not one of these teachers or sex ed educators have certifications or doctorates or anything like that in psychology whatsoever. None of these teachers do to have
actually be
the authority to say that they can lie to parents about, you know, their gender, lie to their parents about what they talk about in classrooms. Like they don't have any of this stuff.
Although I would say before
like, purge the whole education system.
Yeah, just purge the entire public education system should just be eradicated, and then we have to rebuild it from scratch.
All right, so what's the Raichik utopia? What does that look like?
Like for America?
That's a deep question.
Yeah, that is like she's like like for America. But more specific,
like me personally, or like what would I love this country to look like?
however you want to interpret that.
Well, I could tell you, I mean, for me, like personally, having a family is like number one priority. So, you know, when that happens, like if I have to like give up lives of TikTok, like I'll shut it down tonight. You know, if it meant having a family. So that is like always number one priority. Great. But I mean, for America, a utopia, first of all, abolish the Department of Education, shut down every single public school, shut down the FBI, throw Joe Biden in prison with his son Hunter. What else?
These aren't too bad.
It's not bad. No, these are pretty good.
No, I'm very team. I told you backstage before that I'm very pure. So not to poison me.
From our community, Some of the most pressing questions. The first one is, what is the most unhinged threat you've ever received?
Someone once told me that they want me. It was very specific. I should be raped in a shipping container on a boat by a Nazi. Yeah, that's something like that. It was like very specific, like a lot of details.
I mean, they probably were jerking off while they were writing that.
Don't poison Chaya's mind here, okay? What is the hardest part of running a very large and well-known social media account?
Probably like the responsibility. Like I have to think through every single tweet many times and make sure, you know, it's like, because everything I post right away within 10 seconds, it's like thousands of people saw it already. And it's just, it's a very big responsibility that I don't take lightly at all.
Like Spider-Man. Great power comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man rescuing kids from drag queen shows.
Perfect.
I can see it.
Maybe I'm Spider-Woman.
I'm so sorry, Spider-Woman.
Spider
You misgendered me.
Spider them.
Me too. Oh God, Media Matters is gonna go. That's the one they're gonna click.
Inshallah.
Oh God.
Did you see that Twitter or X is like bringing back their misgendering rules?
I did see that.
Yes, we saw that.
So
yeah,
and what's really hilarious is that they're doing it on an election year. Because who are the main people who are going to be getting banned or getting suspended over misgendering?
So I think it was just like you're gonna have your tweet you're gonna lose visibility and be shadow banned. I don't know if you're gonna get suspended for misgendering.
Okay, but still, like
I'm not sure.
You know, I mean,
it starts with a shadow ban, then it ends with a suspension. Like, the fact that this is even being brought back is a problem.
Yeah.